Hey everybody, welcome back to Nomad Garage. This is our belated Halloween episode.
It's very scary.
If you recall from a previous episode, we have 4 projects going on, and in this episode we're going to cover 2 of them. The Galaxie was in a no-start situation, could not get it started, and the Expedition, we had to get some metal work done and some painting done in preparation to get it inspected at the state of Minnesota. So here we go, we're going to lead off with the Galaxie.
It could be either the generator or it could possibly be the battery. So let's rule out the battery first. Gotta bake in this thing for a few hours tonight. Battery disconnected. It's right at about 12.05 volts. We'll check it again in the morning and see where it's at. It's the next morning. Let's see what we got. Oh, it dropped down a little bit, which isn't that uncommon since we just pulled it off the charger last night.
I'm not thinking it's a battery, it's just not, the generator's just not producing any kind of voltage to push back to the battery. So that's probably the next step. It comes down to either the voltage regulator or the generator or both. I set up this little test, disconnected the fan belt. I'm going to connect a wire from the positive side of the battery right to the A terminal. It does work, but it sounds pretty rough. It sounds like the bearings in there are shot.
So you had to replace some car parts?
Yep, we had to replace the generator and the regulator, and then it started throwing back about 14.5 volts back to the battery. So that was a win.
That's good.
All right, and then we got to see
Our friend. A friend.
Yeah, old timer.
Old timer.
I'm in an old timer's garage here, and he's been kind enough to let me park the Galaxie over the winter in a heated garage. I mean, who does that? Who does that? This guy does that. Woo-hoo. This guy does that. That's what you call a friend. Anyways, we did get this thing running and charging. It's got the new generator on it. It's got the new regulator on it. It's throwing out the right voltage, and so that's all good. I'm calling this one the wrap. This is the old fender off of the 52 Ford F1 that I have, and it was like too far gone to repair, so I took it off, cut about 7 inches off the back part of it.
Oh, it's got a lighted tail light?
Yeah, it's got a lighted tail light on there.
Oh, but the wheel is from a Rambler, I think, but that's okay.
Yeah, I found that on the road and cut that in half. And Glenn's got it mounted here in his wall. So it's pretty cool. I mean, it worked out pretty well.
But, you know, it has been a good year, so
Nice.
life is good.
Nice. So that's a wrap on the Galaxie.
All right.
Thanks, Glenn.
Thank you.
That's a really good friend for giving you a space for a garage.
That's right. He gave us a space in his garage. That's a really good friend. Thanks a lot, old timer. Next, we're going to get into the Expedition. Now, this was in an accident about a year ago. Crunched the back corner of it. Somebody hit a tree in the driveway. And anywho,
That was terrible.
yeah, got an insurance claim for that, and then we ended up fixing it ourselves because the body shop didn't want to do the work.
I bet you are ticked off.
Well, we're not going to go there, Nick. It's just, it is what it is. So I ended up replacing part of the rear quarter and rear tailgate glass and repainting it. And there's one part of it that just wasn't quite right, and it was bugging me. And it was the window when it closed, it just got a little too close. So I ended up doing some work on that and I wanted to get it done before we got it inspected. So here it is.
I'm trying to rework this line here. It kind of went up a little bit in its first iteration, and it wasn't allowing a nice enough gap for this window here to close. So I cut right along here, and then pounded it down a little with a hammer, re-welded it, and now I'm priming it and getting ready to paint. All right, I get everything taped up. You can see it's not a real big area that I'm trying to work with here. It's just primarily up in this area here. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna hit it with some 2000 grit sandpaper. And why 2000 grit? Well, it gets the surface rough so the paint has something to adhere to. And it also, when we're done, we can buff 2000 out without any problem. This edge here, right along here, you can see that I ripped the masking tape in half, so it's not a straight edge. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to spray this blends, and what it does is you're putting on the clear coat. Remember back earlier we had sanded this down with 2000 grit, so we put that clear coat on. You spray that blends on there and it will burn it into the clear coat right along this line. This is what I'm concerned with. The rest of it, you know, it's getting taped off at the body line, so it's not a big deal. It's just this line right here when we're gonna go back and buff it out and try to blend it in with the rest of the panel. So again, we're going to try to leave this edge here a little bit fuzzy, and then we're going to hit it with that blends, and hopefully that burns the clear coat into the clear coat underneath it. It just melts it in there. So while this edge here is wet, I'm going to try to see if I can take that off very carefully. Along that edge, and just sand that down and buff it out. It should be good. This is the best part. It's like Christmas. Take some 2000 grit, sand down that ridge there. Got a couple of little flecks here and here we're going to try to take out as well. So I got the ridge sanded down a little bit beyond that, and now we're going to hit it with some 3M Perfected Machine Polish number 2. You see a little bit of a line here still. On this vehicle, I can live with it. So that's it for the Expedition
got that all painted, got that all squared away. Actually got it down to the state. They inspected it, and it passed inspection. It really, they didn't even look at the work. All they were trying to figure out is, did we use stolen parts to fix it? And I had a receipt from the salvage yard, so we were good there.
That's good to hear about it.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, they're getting closer. They're getting closer, Jacob. Cameraman Jacob, they're getting closer. We're going to wrap up this episode. Next episode, we're back in the Nomad. We're doing some metal work on the fenders, and generally, yeah, just stuff like that.
Well, that took a lot of time to get all figured out. It's not easy.
No, it's not easy being me, Nick.
Good one.